In the recent Denver Area Access User Group meeting, I presented this Northwind Traders StockTake app running in PowerApps on the iPhone. In that presentation, I illustrated the use of the scanner with a keypad to select barcodes and then enter manually the count of items of that particular product on the shelf. I mentioned in the course of that presentation that a more appropriate method probably would be just to use the scanner alone without any keypad entry. You would click point, repeatedly scanning the barcodes on each unit on the shelf to avoid additional keystrokes. That should be quicker in some ways. At that point, I had not yet filled out the code that would actually do that. So today I would like to illustrate that in action. I went ahead and completed the code. Here's how it would work. We use the barcode scanner only. Notice that the keypad is now removed from the right side, and instead I have a pure barcode scanning function. I've already done some testing here with some items, so we will go ahead and repeat that. The way it works now is you click the scan button, point the barcode reader at a product. It clicks, and returns us to the app. Notice that it has started a count. Each time I go through this cycle, click the button, point it at a barcode, and let it scan, it will increment this count by 1. We're going to go up to, theoretically, we should go close to 60, depending on shrinkage. I'm not going to force you through that, but I'm going to do, well, I did 16. Let's do about a dozen this time. Click. Notice that units on hand is incremented. Click, point, scan, click, point, scan, click, point, scan, click. And now we have that dozen that I mentioned. At this point, we simply save that item. It will overwrite our previous quantity on hand. That's an important workflow issue there. It will overwrite whatever we had entered before. In this case, I've stopped at 12. Theoretically, I would go on through the rest of the items on that shelf till we got up to however many there were, expected quantity being 60. That's all there is to it. We can show all products. And again, everything else about this gallery remains the same. We can show unscanned 40, all 45. Let's stop here. We'll go back and look at the code that runs this new version. I've reopened my PowerApps design environment in Microsoft 365 and navigated to this app. You will see that I have added a second screen. This original screen has the keypad, which we use to manually enter our counts. This version, which is no keypad, I've eliminated the keypad. All data entry is going to be handled through the barcode scanner and one button, which saves our cumulative scan count into my StockTake scan table. The StockTake scan table is exactly the same as it was before. I added a persistent table rather than a collection. Originally, I had thought I will do this in a collection, which is temporary in-app memory. But then I realized I wanted this app to work between sessions as well as across a single session, which meant that it was preferable to store my current StockTake as a persisted Dataverse table rather than in a collection. There will be one record for each product for each click of the barcode scanner against that product. If I scan almonds 12 times, there will be 12 records in this table for almonds. If I click 12 times for barcodes for almonds and then 95 times for beer, there will be a total of 12 plus 95 or 107 records across those two products, and so on. This will continue to accumulate one record for each product for each click of the barcode scanner, which captures a barcode. At the end of that process, then I can save all of those records from this table into my bridge table, which is the stock take scan table. Once those records are stored in the stock take scan table in the summary fashion, because it will store the summary value, the 12, the 95, or the 4, those can then be moved back into the permanent table in the access side. The gallery is the same. Barcode scanner is the same. These controls are basically the same with the exception of the save button, and what happens when I click the barcode scanner is going to be slightly different. Let's look at the on-scan event. We'll expand the code. The first two steps are the same as they were before. We create two local variables. The first one is the full barcode scanned from the product. That will be the 6-letter code followed by the dash followed by the numeric value, which is a unique ID for each product. Out of that full barcode, we will parse only the unique numeric ID which identifies that product. For almonds, the full barcode scan will be NWT-DRA-74. For the barcode variable, that will be 74, and so on, 74, 34, 6, 85. This part of the code is the replacement for the stub that I had created before after I had this epiphanal moment when I realized I needed this to be available between sessions as well as during sessions, which meant that a collection was not going to work. I needed a persistent, permanent table. I created a new table called current stock takes. Each time the barcode scanner captures a barcode, we enter one record into this table. The three fields in that record are going to be the SKU code or the barcode or the full var barcode value, which is the alpha plus numeric value. We also capture the unique product code, which is the ID for that value, and the date and time on which that record was captured. The patch adds one new record to this table for each click of the barcode scanner or each capture of a barcode on the scanner. The use of the keyword defaults tells us that we're going to add rather than update. This control captures the running sum. We do a COUNTIF against this table. It's working against the current stock takes table. We're doing a COUNTIF. The COUNTIF says if the value of the unique product code in that table is equal to the value of the currently selected barcode, and then we're going to display that in a numeric format. This number then will reflect the current number of records or the current number of times we have scanned a barcode on a product for the currently selected barcode, which is the currently selected product. Right now that's going to be almonds because you can see that's highlighted in blue to indicate it is selected. The gallery is also modified. The items are almost exactly the same as they were before. The item property is almost exactly the same as it is on the other screen. We're going to sort by columns using the product name, so it's going to sort from A to Z. That's the last step that's applied to the results of these filters. If we have selected show the scanned items, then we're going to step down to this filter, which says if we have a blank barcode. That means nothing has been scanned. We're at the original point or the initiation point. Then show the entire collection of items in our current stock take. If it is not blank, if we do have a value, we have selected a barcode, we're going to filter that collection so that only the one scan code, the Northwest scan code or the SKU code or the barcode, 3 different names for the same thing, which matches our currently selected barcode. If this value is false, then we drop here and we filter against those items which have no scanned quantity yet. And that's the way this works here. So if we have it filtered on all products, we see 45. Unscanned shows me only 40 because we're only showing products where there is no value in the on hand. Go back, look here. The on scan, update context, we set the variable for the full barcode or the SKU code. Then we parse out the single unique numeric ID for that barcode, and that allows us to filter this form. So once it's filtered to a single item, repeatedly clicking the barcode scanner is simply going to add one new record into this table. This will continue to increment because it is reflecting the number of records in this table with that value. We're getting a delegation warning because this formula, the countif formula, might not work correctly on large data sets. The delegation issue is a factor outside of what we're talking about here. Suffice it to say that there are limits placed on the number of records available through a filter like this, countif, and there are other filters which also have limitations. I'll put a link in the video description below to a recent YouTube video that explains delegation in much more detail than I can do here. So that's really all we have to do. Each time we click the scan button and capture a new barcode, it increments that record count. When we're done, we can save it from the stock take into the permanent stock take scan table. We find the scan code that matches the one we're looking at. We take the value of that input field. That's this input field. We store that into this stock take scan table. We update the collection using the same values. So this table is updated and the collection which provides records to the gallery is updated. We reset this back to 0 or nothing, and then we remove from our current stock takes table that product. That means that in order to transfer all of the items from the current stock takes table, we have to save each item individually. A further enhancement, which I will leave up to your imagination, would be to create a second version of the save button, save all, which would run a for all loop across all of the records in this table and append them to our stock take scan table. That's all there is to it. It's amazingly simple. With that, I'll end this video. Thank you for your time. I hope you have enjoyed this video. Hope you found something worthwhile. If you have, please subscribe to my channel and check back in the future for new updates. Thank you.